The way you get a license in this country is you do 4 modules of this. Anyway, I'll just start. And you get questions at a level, you know, such as A, B, C, or D. A flexible investment is one that takes a long time to sell. Is flexible. Anyway, so after you do that, you've got to do 3 years sales, basically insurance, and then you can become a responsible entity. Anyway, clearly that means I'm irresponsible, or maybe a soon-to-be responsible. Surely not one responsible now. Secondly, this is not part of the app. The Perth Entertainment or Perth International Arts Festival. This is serious. And then talk about me. I know a little bit about this. I went to university. I did what did I do? I did Bachelor of Commerce, majoring in banking and finance, and some economics units on the side. I made sure that I didn't learn anything that made me dumber. I was there in the middle of second wave feminism. On my orientation day, there was Wendy Harmer came in and made jokes for 2.5 hours about people just like me. I didn't like it. The most important thing I found was on the toilet door, and it said, in theory works in practice. In practice, theory works in theory. And I thought, that's worth the excellence. Anyway, so being irresponsible and only just scraping through and getting 50%, and basically mocking everyone along the way, it was hard for me to get a job. So what I did is I dug holes and I lived in concrete and jackhammering, roof tiling, and teaching myself economics from first principles, only caring to look at what actually works, actually. And then I wrote an email to one of the best investors of all the time, directly to him, it wasn't spam. He wrote back to and fro, invited me to have dinner with him in Auckland. We got on very, very well. We were on the same wavelength. And then from that, I got to, he didn't introduce me, but I got to write to a group of guys that stand in the middle of 100 of the best hedge funds in the world. If you go to hedge funds research, hfr.com, you'll look at the rankings of all the hedge funds, categories of all the hedge funds, and you'll see that most of them lost lots of money, except global macro. And the guys that I was talking to in global macro, Soros is global macro. The guys that actually make money on the way up and the way down generally tend to be, rather intelligent and in the global macro field. And then I wrote to this guy and he wrote back. And my idea was pretty good, so he was interested. And he put me on a probation for a year. And then he kindly offered to have me come over and meet him and his 100 hedge fund mates at a conference in America. So I said, yeah, sure. And I went over and I didn't have any money because I was not only as, actually, Christian was tame, not only was I merely labourer, I was lazy. So I didn't have much money at all. So I arrived there with hardly any money at all and had to quickly fly up to San Francisco to meet a guy who didn't have time to go to the conference, but he had time to talk to me for 6 hours. So intelligent was his humour that I went to the toilets and I vomited. He was that intelligent. I'm kind of shy anyway, but it was unbelievable just that bit there. We're at the conference, I was talking to people and I had my kind of ticket was a metaphor. My metaphor was, and this is in April 2007, so before the credit crisis in August. My metaphor was, there's a lot of people in the world looking at trying to look at global macro, and they're saying the imbalances are too big, there's too much indebtedness. And I say, well, this is like a skin diver is swimming along and he sees a whale, and the whale is 20 meters long, And he cannot believe that an animal could possibly get that big, let alone any bigger. The next time he goes through, he gets 22 metres. And then he, whoa, can't get any bigger, goggles and all. Can't get any bigger. The next time it's 28 metres. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And these guys are just completely dumbfounded. They keep on saying, this whale, this beast cannot get any bigger. Finally, the whale is beached. And I've got a little cartoon commissioned by a great artist in Tokyo, kind of symbolising that. The whale gets beached, and the hippies run down to the beach whale, and they push the whale back into the ocean. That's what hippies do. Anyway, because the whale is designed to support itself with its own ribs, it can't support its bulk and its mass on these bristles, not really ribs as we understand it. So that they implode, and the whale crushes itself under its own weight. Once it has to take its own weight, it can't, it gets crushed. Once the whale is pushed into the water, all whales, within a couple of days of being beached, they always die. Their internal organs have been crushed to death. It's true.